totally different building and stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just the layout. So again, first bit you're looking at your site location. So task 1, site location. Just talk about the area, surrounding area.
Sorry, Mr. Connell, I'm guessing you've already done about with this. I'm fine with you taking on board what you said. If we're saying if we're comfortable with it,
one of the questions asked you to do load curves. Now, this was just done in Excel. So you just take that information and bob that into Excel. So you can do graphs in there. This one were gas and electric usage over the months, and then gas and electric usage costs. And if you just put that into a graph in Excel, it does it for you.
So just over P1, just putting it in a graph.
That's all it is, and you basically just discussing the peaks and the troughs. So why do you think that it drops in August there?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you just talk about what's happening in the trends, really.
I've not really started. Is the information to make the graphs actually on the assignment, or is there a?
Yeah, it's in Blackboard. Yeah, so I put it in
Blackboard. Is it right? Yeah.
On the assignment, yeah. So I put an Excel sheet in there with all the months and the usage for your gas and electric. So it's just taken out. I put one of these. So for South Bank 1, look, it's got all the how much the consumption is and how much it's cost us.
Yeah, brilliant.
So all you're doing there in that Excel sheet is just putting it into a graph and with a bit of a description about the peaks and troughs. Why do you think it?
Yeah, so just so you're aware that that's what's going to be happening. Do you want me to forward you through what the proposed plan?
On that data, though, are we talking about it? This is an expected usage from a similar building, because aren't we doing in the project around? They want to see what they can do when they build a new building to keep the costs down. Have I read that wrong?
Well, from the university point of view, it's one of the things done before the end of the long use term, that you do have some residents.
Dean's connections froze.
Gone, Annie.
Who's on phone?
I think it's lagging a little bit.
Yeah, it does that when you share the screen. It's a nightmare.
Whoever's on phone, can you mute your microphone, please?
That mullet's coming on well, Phil.
I know, I'm doing well. I'm going to go proper Joe Exotic.
Oh, fucking hell. Fucking Carol Baskin.
Fucking
You at work, Johnny?
Yeah.
I thought you were working from home.
No, I've been allowed out day release. Our lasses off today, thank fuck.
This highlight of my week gonna work.
Fucking hell, tell me about it. Yeah. Do you think I have read into that wrong though? Do you know, because I read the assignment that they're trying to see what they can do.
Going to talk about that for your first task. Then you're going to look at your load curves. So just a brief discussion about why you think it peaks and troughs when it does across the year. And then you want your social, environmental, economic P4 to get in there. And then what you can do then is follow the that LZC report that I put on there. So the format of that, if you like. So you're going to start looking at the different systems after that. So you've got photovoltaic, you've got CHP, and do you remember these headings that I was talking about? So these are all on that LZC report. So you could look at planning, noise, capital costs, payback. But I don't want you to do like you're saying there. I don't want you to do that for every single technology. Just pick a couple that are going to be, or a few that are going to be feasible for your building. So with CHP, for instance, you could just say what it is for me. You don't have to go into all this.
It's a lot of bollocks, isn't it?
It's just a bit of an idea of what the systems are. Like with tidal power, you're not going to go into a load of information about tidal power because it's kind of not relevant to that building, is it? Yeah, so that's just talking about the technologies, and then you're going to come to a point where you're going to use your TN38 tool, and then you're going to come up with a selection for that building. So what system are you going to use? So taking into all the account, all the area, if you like, or the location of the building, everything else into consideration, what are you going to select? Now this guy, I think he's gone for PV. So he's measured up the building off of Google Maps, and he's gone into some detail there about how much it's going to save over time, how much it might cost for install, and then again he's just put his information into a spreadsheet there. So electric usage overall offset. So this is how much you're going to save. So it's saying there that obviously you're going to produce your own energy, so you're not buying as much off the grid.
So prove out it's going to pay for itself almost.
Exactly, yeah. So then he's looked at the actual building and where it's going to be installed. So he's grayed out these bits where they're on the roof where it can be installed. This is North Street building, by the way, yeah.
But on North Street,
on
North Street, it has already got solar PV, so he's grayed it out to make it that he's doing it as a feasibility study, hasn't he?
You've got it, yeah. So I'm happy for you to do that too.
Even if it's got PV on it already, you can still.
Yeah. I think at this stage we can assume that it hasn't got it, but and that's it really. So I would like a bit more, like if you are selecting PV, well, how are you going to? So he's just put that he's going to install it there, but I won't mind a bit more detail of it, like where the inverter's going to be and things like that, where that's going to be placed. Now you're going to, inputting that into existing supply already.
Do you want much on regulation and planning permission, etc.?
Yeah, mention it, but I'm not too bothered if it's hard to find, for instance, or I don't want you exhausting it and getting stressed out over it. Then when really it doesn't really ask for that in spec. It's just saying to do a design. Let me just show you this then, if I can. So this morning I've just knocked up. If you are going to use solar PV, computer was really slow, obviously. First thing you're going to do really if you come to select PV, is you're going to have a look at the amount of consumption that we've used over the year. So it's saying there, look, that we've used 424,986 kilowatt hours over the year, and that's at a cost of over 53 grand. Okay, so that's the first bit that you're going to look at that. So you could use that as your starting point. Now, I went on and I just had a look at how much a panel produces per panel. So this one, a standard panel, we've got a 1675 panel by a metre, and the output on that, we're looking at about 320 watts per panel. Okay, so each panel then we've got about 1.7 square metres per panel that can produce 320 watts.
Is that peak?
That's peak, yeah.
Is that per hour as well?
No, that's just saying that's what it will do. That's not per hour. That's just saying that's what it can produce.
So peak is sort of like middle of summer, sun's at its highest, and it'll produce 320, but it will produce electricity through normal daylight hours, but its average will be a lot less than the 320. It probably works out at 160.
I'm going to take that information. I'm going to show you this tool that you can use that's going to do it for you, and I'm happy for you to use that as well. So I'll just go through this, and then I'll show you where I'm going with it. So I'm saying here that we can produce up to. You can get panels that produce more than that, but just for an example, I've just picked this one, and it's 320 watts. So what I did then is I looked at how much I could get on the roof of South Bank, and what I did when I looked at the drawings that I put online, they're actually it's showing them already on there. So what I've done, I just measured that were 4 meters by 17 meters across. So it's given me a total of each section there. I've got 76.5 square meters of panel space, yeah? So all I did with that is I divided that by the 1.7 per panel, so it gives me 45 panels I can use in that section. Are you following that?
Yep.
Yeah, simple enough. So with them 45 panels then, each panel producing 320 watts. Like you say, peak time there, I'm going to be producing 14.4 kilowatts per section. I've got 7 sections there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections of roof space I can use. All right, are you okay up to that point?
Yep.
Yeah. Shout up if I'm going too fast, or I'm waiting on. Just conscious I've got another meeting soon. So what I've done, and I'll put this lesson online for you. This link here is a solar PV tool.
What it is, who knows what they are doing. This is not difficult.
Okay, you're seeing that now?
Yeah.
And with this tool, what you're going to do, down here, look, you can put in the postcode or the area that you are wanting to look at. So I'm going to do the college, so it's LS10 1EF. You can zoom in and you can stick the marker on the actual building that we're doing. Yeah, so we've got that South Bank 1, South Bank 2 at the back, so we're looking at this building. And if you click on this bit here, if you go on to tracking PV, you can put in there, look, so installed PV power in kilowatts. And what were mine? 14.4.
Yeah.
So 14.4. And what this does as well, it includes for system loss, and it also allows for any shading or any. What this tool does, like, it puts all your information in for you. So you can change the orientation if you want, and it's going to tell you kilowatt hours per month. And also, if you look, this is an important bit here. You've got yearly PV energy production in kilowatt hours. So kilowatt hours per year is 15,500. Just jot that down a second. So you've got 15,503 kilowatt hours per year that's going to produce, yeah? But that was just for one section, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So if we just go back to the PowerPoint.
You had 7 sections.
I had 7 sections, yeah, so I timed that by 7, so this one's actually showing different in my example I'm doing here. I had 1699. You get the how to get there though, don't you?
Yeah.
So you would times that figure then by the 7 sections of roof that you've got. And that's going to tell you how much it's going to produce per year. So in my case there then, it would, when I timed it by 7, I had 92,050 kilowatt hours that it were going to use, that it were going to produce. You okay to that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did here is, you see the two figures that we were looking at, the 424,000 kilowatt hours. All I did was divide that by how much it's cost to get how much we were paying per kilowatt hour.
You're not going to take into account the fact that it's going to be producing more in the where you need less energy to be exporting.
You got. I don't know what's happening there. I can hear you talking, James, but I can't hear what you're saying. Sorry.
You're not going to take into account the fact that it's going to be producing more in months that you not necessarily energy.
I suppose.
It's going to be exporting rather than actually.
Yeah, I suppose you could. When you look at it though, I don't think that it does. Because even in August, we're still consuming 29,000 kilowatt hours for that month. So when you look at the tool, go back. I need a PDF of it somewhere. Yeah, I've lost it. Oh yeah. So what's that? In August then it was 1,837. So if I times that by 7. What did I say? Well, 1,837 times 7. So that's producing 12,857 kilowatt hours in that month. Where's my spreadsheet? Yeah, so even in August, it still doesn't produce enough to cover the full consumption. So there kind of is no payback in that. So I had that at 12,800 kilowatt hours in August.
Yeah.
And in August there with you 29,000, so it's still not even half consumption we're using really.
But you wouldn't want it to. It'd never like take up the full load, would it? You just get your payback on the savings, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ellis. Yeah, so it'll never do the full consumption of the building, will it? But it's what you can look at then is it's going to produce this over the year, so that's energy that you're kind of producing, and you're not having to buy for the grid, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you've got this amount at 13 pence per kilowatt hour, it's going to save you this much off that figure.
Yeah.
So you can see now that like we were paying 53,200. So if you minus 11,500 off that, that's your new saving, isn't it? That's your new cost.
And then you can extrapolate that across the years to see when your payback's going to be.
Yeah, you could do that then. So what you'd look at then is what an install would cost, and if you're gonna get that back in 10 years or whatever. All right, so it's just a bit of food for thought. Have a look at that tool. Have a play about with it. A lot of students do go with PV because it is it's tried and tested and it does work, and it's kind of an easy solution. Have a play about with that tool. I'll put this lesson on Blackboard for you, so you can have a play about with it and see how you go on.
Are you wanting us to do that for two things, Dean? So it'd be PV and another? Or do you just want to talk about one cost saving technique?
What does it say in the spec? I'm kind of happy for us just to do one, but let's have a look. Make sure that. Yeah, the computer's really slow.
Do we only have one assignment for this, Steve?
Yeah. I've just set up a date there for the 28th of May, so end of this month. Next month. So what's that, about 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just trying to get an assignment up here, but it's been really slow. Have you all been still having to work then, or has anyone been furloughed? Or?
Yeah, I'm working from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But half of the company's been furloughed as well, so it's been like, I don't know, it's been a bit hectic still, really, because I've been obviously taking on a lot of what the other half have been doing.
Yeah. I've heard that a couple of times where they're furloughed half at the company, but those that are working having to pick up all their workload.
Which is taking piss a bit, really, because they're all getting paid 80% sat at home, while you're only getting paid 100% to work twice as hard.
What they're doing,
It's an absolute cheek.
they're furloughing all people at top on big wages,
Yeah.
because can get it back, and then expecting everybody to pick it up because it's cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Dean? Still on full whack?
Yeah, at the minute, they're expecting us to carry on as normal. But they've put like all the support staff on furlough. So, those that are like non-profitable for the business, if you like. So, like all canteen staff and people like that. They've furloughed all them. But I think because we're still ticking over and we're still going to make a profit, I think they're not allowed to furlough us. I don't know. I think it's in their interest that we keep going, because they'll be able to, if we get it all through, we can still claim all the funding, can't they?
Yeah.
I would hoping they do what universities have done and just pass you all off, and then you won't have to do any work and I won't have to do any marking.
I take that book then.
I wouldn't have minded that.
I still do think they should be a little bit lenient. Like, we can get through doing it this way, but to a lot of people, it's an harder way of learning, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why I kind of like with these assignments and stuff like that. I am dumbing it down loads of it with as much as I can, because I have got that comeback that we want distance learning, and it were. Come on, what is up with this open?
Extenuating circumstances.
My cousins at Leeds Uni, and what they've done with them is extended all deadlines well into June.
Have they? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know unis are different. I think there might even be with uni. Is she in first year or he in first year?
I don't know if he's in his first or second year. He's doing something stupid like it's like health and nutrition and fitness or something.
Yeah.
Something that's not going to get him a proper job when he finishes.
Yeah. I've heard that like some of the courses for the first year they're just passing them off, even without having to do any work, and then like just starting afresh in September.
I'm pretty sure he's still got to finish, but they have extended deadlines.
Yeah. So, at the moment, the message to us is just carry on and get everyone through as normal. Specify an alternative energy generation scheme for a given context. So it says
An
alternative energy generation scheme. So to me, that's one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you'd all say that. Yeah. So yeah, you're just going to specify one.
Can you, if you don't want to do PV, just to be an awkward twat, if you've got sort of like numbers of a similar building for something else off a case study, can you use that as evidence, or do you want actual?
No, I'm happy for you to do that. It's showing your research, isn't it? It's showing that it's tried and tested on another building. So if you've got figures where it's worked on a building already, then you can use that. By all means, do that. Yeah. I'm not too bothered where you get your information, as long as as long as you're putting it down and you're referencing it.
Yeah.
And you're saying that this could work for this building.
And here's my proof.
And here's your proof. Yeah, this is where you've got your information.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, fellas. So next week